I am here to tell you all about Mesa, Arizona, like you've never been shown before. I am telling you, I think Mesa, Arizona is probably the most misunderstood and most undervalued as far as amenities, activities, all kinds of like influence, social influence, shopping, dining, outdoor. Mesa has absolutely everything. So let's break it down into three different areas because I feel like there's three different cities in the one city. And I want to make sure you know what is out there because even this girl was shocked. Let's check out what I'm going to call Mesa number one. This is the oldest part of Mesa. And it is, if you look at the Mesa map where it is proximity to the greater Phoenix area, first of all, it's really close to like the airport and downtown Phoenix and tons of freeways. And I'm getting ahead of myself. But in the northwest part of Mesa, let's start there. This part of Mesa was the OG. I'm telling you, it was where it all started. In the early 1900s, they actually started seeing development and modern vehicles and appliances, and just the whole commerce really started in the city of Mesa. They came up with this thing called the Beeline Highway that is now Interstate 60. And I'll tell you, it is a major freeway that gets you in and out of the greater Phoenix area. Once a bottleneck, no longer a bottleneck now that we have other freeways to offload some of the traffic, not only going through Mesa to get out to the beautiful mountains, but also in and around the entire Southeast Valley. One of the best additions to the Southeast Valley, and I'll tell you, is the 202. The 202 freeway kind of is the furthest north freeway, but it also, that's the North 202, but then they also have a South 202. And this is what is a big circle, and it completely connects Mesa to other parts of the greater Phoenix area. There's a lot of good things in Mesa. What do I mean? I'm so excited because I just discovered it myself. I know that sounds terrible, but let me tell you my story. Downtown Mesa was not fun. Went to a Kid Rock concert there about 20 years ago, and it was not a place I like to be. It was just kind of dirty and not pretty. And although I loved Kid Rock, I was there. But as soon as we were done with the concert, I got myself skedaddled out of town and got to myself either to Chandler or Gilbert, whatever. But let me tell you, 20 years ago is when the light rail system went into downtown Mesa. And yes, it was quite turbulent for not only residents, but people that had businesses in that downtown area. And so it really shut down. But let me tell you, I just went down there last weekend for you guys. I was completely blown away. Let's check it out. I'm so excited to share with you downtown Mesa.
Okay.
This is the cutest little downtown.
It is awesome.
I really like it.
There's so many little shops and everything's kind of local, and artist James Muir's newsboy holds a paper with the headline "Truth," which is mirrored to infinity as a pebble creates infinite ripples in a pond.
Oh my goodness, it just smells like yummy bread. Okay, I need to get some bread. Oh my goodness. I was thinking about this on the way over here today to meet you so that we could do this video. And I was thinking that I feel like this is what Buckeye is going to be like in about 25, 30 years. Mm-hmm. Because when I moved here almost 30 years ago, the only part of Mesa was what is now considered the old part of Mesa. And I'll be honest with you, it's not pretty and it's not safe. Some of the highest crime rate is in the west part of Mesa.
Kind of run down kind of feeling. You could just, everything's old. The signs are old and faded. You know,
faded, like there's nobody builds Denny's anymore. There's a Denny's over here. So what are those title shops, like, you know, and you sell you, like, if you need a couple $1,000 title loan, it just, and like you said, all the signs are like faded. And I always tell people this: if you want to get to know what your neighborhood is really like, go to the stores that you would shop at and look at the cars.
So we're on Main Street in Mesa.
Yes, show us around, Jessie.
Downtown Mesa, and there is a light rail that goes through the middle of the road on Main Street Mesa here. But there's people out walking around. This is kind of like historical. They're kind of revamping it though, putting in some boutiques where older stores used to be, artwork on the walls.
Cute.
It is cute, and there's little statues too, if you can see the kids playing baseball there on the corner. These are called sculptures in the streets.
Look at somebody put a stuffed animal right here.
There is so many different arts down in I'm so excited about it. I don't even know where to start. There's quite a few different museums. There's quite a few art museums. There's the Center for the Arts. There's concerts. There was local vendors. I was there in a June Saturday. It was 110 degrees and there were still vendors on the street. I can only imagine what it's like in the springtime. And I've heard over the holidays, it's just absolutely festive. There's a ton of new restaurants and little shops. And that's one of the things that Gilbert and Chandler do not have. They are total restaurant dining destinations. One of the things I really love about downtown Mesa, in fact, I know they have a downtown organization that put these things together, and they probably said, what makes Chandler so great? What makes Gilbert so great? And how can we combine the two and make Mesa even better? And I have to tell you, they're on point. The cute little coffee shops and donut shops and bread shop and like all the cute little, I mean, everywhere we went, there was daytime activity as well as nighttime activity, outdoor patios. And if you are one that needs public transportation, I love the fact that you can literally get on this light rail system. You can go directly to downtown Tempe, all the way to downtown Phoenix, the airport, and they are building even further lines to go up north. So eventually this is going to be even better. Now you're probably thinking, what is it like to live around this area? Well, not my favorite. Let's take a look at some of these neighborhoods that are nearby. And you know, I always say there's a home for every buyer and a buyer for every home. But here's the thing, I can feel it in this area. These are people that have lived in this area for generations. They probably own their home free and clear. They're not going for anywhere for a very long time. So it's going to take a while to see that renovation or gentrification in the Mesa area. Homes are still very affordable comparatively. If you're talking about in the 300 price range, this is what it's going to get you in the Phoenix area. Now, some of the other things aside from the downtown that are so amazing about this part of Mesa. First of all, my kids would never forgive me if I didn't mention Golfland, Swim Splash, whatever it's called. Like, this park is absolutely amazing. I don't care what age you are, or if you have a niece or nephew or cousins, or how about just your neighbor's kids? There's always a good excuse for us adults to get there too. It is absolutely amazing. It's right smack dab in the middle of, let's just call it the southeast part of the greater Phoenix area. So everyone can get there within a 35-minute drive. And it is so fun. It is open every single day from Memorial Day to Labor Day. And then on the weekends and the other times of the year. But it is a blast for the kids. Over in this area, kind of, is also an area called Dobson Ranch. Now, this is a very desirable community. It's south of Interstate 60 though. And it was Mesa, it was actually Phoenix's first master plan community in the 80s, back when they didn't have HOAs, but they came with an idea of, hey, let's build, instead of individual homes, let's build a community where everybody kind of comes together. And Dobson Ranch still remains to be in very high demand. The homes are older, you have the shingle roof, but I'll tell you, if you're looking for modern style homes, these are the great ones to go in and completely remove walls and lift up the ceilings. The backyards, there's huge lots in these. Well, I shouldn't say huge, but for us, it's huge. When you're looking at new construction, you're like so disappointed with the 6,000 square foot lot. Some of these lots are in excess of a quarter of an acre. Beautiful homes, I'm telling you, and the neighborhood is so well kept. It is unbelievable. So this girl, I love Dobson Ranch. And again, its proximity to absolutely everything is fantastic. Bass Pro Shop, if you're an outdoor enthusiast, is also just nearby. And even I get wowed every time I go there. If you are a baseball enthusiast, let me tell you, spring training, it gets very busy here in the spring time frame. It's actually usually the last weekend of February February till the first weekend in April. It is a madhouse in Arizona. And Mesa doesn't have just one, but they have two fields. The Oakland A's, which is kind of my second favorite team, but my favorite field to go is the Chicago Cubs. I am telling you, it is so much fun. I'll tell you, Chicago Cubs fans are the best fans everywhere. Not to mention the Chicago dogs are out of this world. One of the other things in the section number 1 is going to be the crime rate. I really want you to take a look at it and be aware of it. It's probably not one of the better areas for the greater Phoenix area. But again, we helped a family that moved here from South America, and they had different levels of expectation. And that's what I mean by buyer for every home and a home for every buyer. You just got to tell us what you're looking for. It's not about us, it's for you. And based on what you're looking for and your budget, we will make recommendations on some areas, and then it's up to you to let us know if it works or it doesn't. Let's pop on over to section number 2 that's going to blow you away. So I have lived here in the Phoenix area for 28 years. And let me tell you, I remember when they were building out here, and it did seem like it was really far away because, again, there was only Interstate 60 and it wasn't as wide as it is right now. So it really seemed like it was really far out there. But I'll tell you, I never get tired of these mountain views. The mountain views are unbelievable. And the desert that is on this part of the Phoenix area, honestly, is completely different than there's different desert types. Yes, they're all the Sonoran Desert, but I'm telling you, the cactus is completely different. There's more butterfly fields. There's more California poppies. There is a lot more water up this way. So you're seeing more green. When you look at the saguaros, if you're not familiar, the big ones that have the arms, that's called a saguaro. They sprout their first arm at the age of about 80 years old. The second and the third arm, etc., there's no rhyme, no reason. But know that if you see a saguaro that has an arm, it's at least 80 years old. When you realize that, you're just completely blown away. The views here, whether it's a cloudy day, a sunny day, a winter day, a summer day, I am telling you, it is breathtaking. If you are looking for larger custom homes on 1 acre, 2 acre lots, yes, the price point's going to be somewhere around $2 million, but I'm telling you, you'll have your own little piece of God's country right here with the most majestic mountains in the background. Insane. One of the things I love about this part of the greater Phoenix area too, when people ask me, is there anything cooler than Phoenix? I'm not going to say it's cooler, but it is slightly different weather. It is a slighter elevation, obviously with the mountains, right? So it is a few degrees cooler. And when we do get rain, we see more rain in this area. So if you're looking for maybe a little bit like not 300 blue sky days a year and maybe a little bit more precipitation, this might be a good area for you. Now, here's the thing though, if you live in section number 2, you are going to be closer to wildlife. So remember that whether you're in the more rural areas or you're in these planned communities, you're going to have a little bit more of that. What do I mean by that? Well, we're probably, yes, talking about snakes. We're also talking about scorpions. Spiders come in all different sizes. We also have lots of birds of prey. So if you have a small dog, you're probably not going to want to have the dog on the outside. Same thing if you have outdoor cats. I wouldn't recommend that on this side of town. We have eagles, we have vultures, yeah, they're a thing. And let me tell you, when you hear the red hawk go by with that scream, you're just like, God's country. It's absolutely breathtaking. The proximity to Tonto National Forest in section number 2 is literally, I'm not kidding you guys, 8 miles. It is a 10-minute drive through the most majestic drive you have seen throughout the greater Phoenix area. I don't care what other mountain you're driving up in and around. There's nothing like the Bush Highway. It is absolutely gorgeous. In fact, I take Levi out to Salt River on a weekly basis because it's literally just right outside of town. How is this right outside of town? We see wild horses. We do paddle boarding. Sometimes when I don't even have time to go paddle boarding and he's been a good boy and I just want to give him some reprieve, I just head up there and just take the ball and throw the ball, and he just loves going swimming in the river. It is absolutely amazing. And what's really cool in the hot summers, like we just had a 116 temperature day the other day, we did a night paddle. So when you have the natural moonlight, sometimes on the more fuller moons, those are some of the outdoor activities. There's biking, there's tons of like bicycling, like the ones that, on the 10 speeds and they get like intense. I don't know how you differentiate between the different. There's mountain biking. There's also off-roading. There is also, if you're outdoor gun shooter, this is where I've taken my lessons. If you are looking for outdoor type of shooting ranges, there's not a lot of them in the city. Now, this is not in the city, but it's just outside of the city. I'm telling you, it's so close. If you are someone that loves boating, Saguaro Lake and a little bit farther up the road, Canyon Lake, I am telling you, beautiful places to have your boat. You can have it permanently docked. They have berths there, or you can just trailer on up there. There is a limited amount of boats that they allow to drop on each day. So if the parking lot's full, you don't get to drop your boat. So you're gonna have to get there early in the morning. But there's jet skiing and water skiing and a lot of paddle boarding also. I can't say enough about section number 2, what I call the Red Mountain area, or Lycendis, which is the name of the community, the golf course club community that is smack dab against the mountain. The reason if you go online and you look at Lycendis, trying to find homes on the market, it's really hard to find them because there's 38 different neighborhoods in there. And most of the time when the homes go on the market, it actually has the neighborhood, not the name of the master plan community. Most of those are you can actually get them in the $400,000 or $500,000 price point for the condominiums, which we just recently sold a couple of those as well. And then single family homes start even as low as the 600,000. That's in Lycendis, again, with that amazing community pool, tennis courts, pickleball courts, golf club, etc. There are other communities that are up against Lycendis that aren't as expensive. You can even get golf course homes in the $500,000 price point. If you're thinking a 55 plus community, there are a lot of them over here. I would again stay as close to the 202 as possible. 60 is not my favorite as far as like being down closer to the freeway. That again is going to be where the older part of homes and communities might be. If you're looking for something rural, custom, again, up against this mountain, there is some breathtaking. I haven't even started to talk about the activities at Superstition Mountains. The trails there are insane. I've also camped at the base of Superstition, and there's a lot of what do you call them, haunted stories and ghost towns and nearby. It is a beautiful place to call home. Fantastic schools, amazing hospital facility choices and services in this area. Here's one thing I also didn't mention, and it doesn't really matter what part of Mesa you are living in. Probably one of the most condensed areas for job opportunities, more than 1 million jobs within a 30-minute drive if you call Mesa home. So no matter if you're working from home or you're looking for work when you move here, Mesa is a good place to land if you haven't yet found an employment. Maybe you're looking at renting. There's a lot of good stuff going on in Mesa, just saying. All right, let's now jump straight on over to number 3. That's the new area that everybody's like, what new area? Well, I think people have been talking about it long enough now that the people know that there's a new part of Mesa. More prominently, it's going to be a community called Eastmark. And Eastmark came into our life about 12 years ago. And they came in with, they said, we're going to be building the most amazing master plan community you ever did see. And everybody was like, yeah, right, whatever. And wow, is it already, like they're in final closeout. Like I said, they've been building there for 12 years now. And there are a couple of new construction homes, depending on when you give us a call, which by the way, you have to give us a call. There may or may not be any new construction homes, but everything is within 12 years old. One of the things that I don't love about Eastmark is the builder, when they decided to build this amazing community, rather than give everybody slightly large lots, they made master community amenities. And what I mean by that is, first of all, in the very middle, is a thing called the Great Park. Great Park is half owned by the HOA and half, I shouldn't say owned, maintained by the HOA and also maintained by the city. So it is available to the public. You don't have to live in Eastmark to take advantage of this park. The community center is open for residents only. There is also splash pad and the most amazing community pool with a basketball hoop smack dab in the middle. There is also a huge lake there to walk around. There's ducks, there's a bridge over the water, there's a huge jungle gym there called Orange Monster. I climbed to the very top. That's a little high even for me. I was a little scared at the very top. There's a beautiful farm there. It's called Steadfast Farms. Steadfast grows its own vegetables, and they sell to some of those small stores that we saw earlier in downtown Mesa. It was so cool. I'm like, hey, check out the lettuce. It's from Eastmark. They also have a cute little coffee and taco shop. I'm telling you, they have a fish catch and release pond. There's several other parks that are throughout Eastmark, and it's super modern, super clean, super gorgeous. And like I said, though, the number one negative that we get from people is that the lots are too close or too small, so the homes feel really close together. So if you are looking for a larger lot, instead of, again, I don't know how you're doing your searching. The best way to do it is to make one call. It does it all. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We'll connect you, and we'll ask you the questions to help you figure out where the best part of not only Mesa, anywhere in the greater Phoenix area. Here's some areas that we would recommend that you look. It's so easy to find pretty houses online, but you don't know what the neighborhoods are like. You don't know what the areas are like. You don't know what the commute is. You don't know what the amenities are. And that honestly should be the number one priority. And again, that's why I like Mesa. It doesn't matter what part of Mesa you are calling home. You have everything within a 10 to 15 minute drive. If you live in the Northeast Mesa, people don't realize this. The North 202 gets you to Tempe Marketplace in 10, 15 minutes. You can also get to Old Town, which is the south part. That's like the club, like the fun stuff in South Scottsdale. 22 minutes. Well, maybe I drive a little fast, but maybe 25 minutes. So outside of Eastmark, there's still plentiful other communities. There are so many communities, to be honest with you. That is just the number one community that everyone talks about. You've probably seen a million YouTube channel videos about it. And again, here's some of the questions that people ask about that area. They're like, oh, it's too close to an airport. I don't want to live next to an airport. I am telling you, when I go on the west part of Phoenix and we're near Luke Air Force Base, you are very aware that you live near an Air Force. You can hear those jets. When I'm in Eastmark, I try to fly my drone, or I should say in Mesa, I forget that I'm near an airport, because the planes that go in and out of that airport, which is Mesa Gateway, and that's Allegiant Airlines, by the way, if you're looking up which airlines go there, you hardly hear them. Like, absolutely, they're not the big 737, 757, and goodness gracious, they're not the, military jets. Living near that airport, honestly, to me, is a huge plus. Now, here's another great thing. You're only about 5 to 7 minutes from a lot of different shopping areas and hospitals. Schools are rated 10 out of 10 in this area, and it's only going to continue to get better and better and better, because when you drive out there, there's still a lot of dirt. You're like, how do I have all these amenities? Everything is very car reliant over here in this area, though. We don't have the light rail going out this part of Mesa. I love this part of Mesa. And if you come out here, you got to give us a call, because we will get you set up on a self-guided tour. We'll do a Zoom meeting. We talk about your pros, cons, likes, budget, whatever you need. And again, we'll make the recommendation based on what you tell us as to where to look. Fast track to buying a home. Imagine that. All right, guys, we are your number one relocation team in the greater Phoenix area. If you are thinking of making the move to Mesa or anywhere else in the greater Phoenix area, we want to be your go-to. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, days, nights, or weekends. We got you back when moving to Phoenix, Arizona. And I cannot wait to hear from you, hopefully soon. Bye.